magnetic poles exist in pairs. What is the meaning of this sentence? Magnetic poles exist in pairs.
Ma'am, may I explain?
Yes, please.
Magnetic poles exist in pairs. So, ma'am, how much ever you cut the magnet, you break the magnet, it will still have two pairs like north and south.
Excellent. Yes. So magnetic poles always exist in pairs. So just like Earth is a huge magnet, and just imagine Earth has like a huge magnet, and that is why we have a North Pole and a South Pole. So every magnet has two ends. Okay, and these two ends will have a North Pole and a South Pole, and I can never have just a North Pole and just a South Pole. Okay, it will always occur in pairs. If there is a North Pole, there has to be a South Pole. If there is a South Pole, there has to be a North Pole. Okay, so magnetic poles always exist in pairs. All right, if a bar magnet is broken into two equal parts, okay, the important point over here is equal parts. If a bar magnet is broken into two equal parts, each part is a complete magnet. Do you guys agree?
Because, ma'am, it's broken up into two equal parts, right?
Yes.
Then it's two is a complete magnet. Different magnet.
Okay, Neha, if I broke them into unequal parts, then they won't be magnets?
Yeah, maybe
They will be magnets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for this particular thing, it's okay whether I break it into equal or unequal parts. Yes, Pragya, go ahead.
Ma'am, I wanted to say that magnets can never be just singular pole, because if we break a magnet, it will always have two poles, and that is why it cannot just have if we just break a magnet, it will just create two more poles. Like if one is south pole and the other is north pole, and we break it, it will create north south on its own, because magnets always have two poles. They are monopoles. They can never be singular poles.
Excellent. Yes. So that is what means. Magnets, basically, when you break them, they end up creating their own poles. And whether I break a magnet into equal parts, if I break them into unequal parts, it doesn't matter. As if I break a magnet, those two parts will also be a magnet. Okay. Those two parts will also be magnets. Okay. All right. So the magnetic strength of each part is half than that of the original full magnet. So whenever I break a magnet into equal parts, then the magnetic strength of each part is half that of the original magnet. So let's say the magnetic strength of some magnet is, let's say, 10 units. Okay, some units, I don't know what units, some units. Let's say the magnetic strength of this original piece of magnet is 10 units. If I break this magnet into half, then each part will have a magnetic strength of 5 and 5 units. Okay, so if I break the magnet into unequal parts, then will it have half the magnetic strength?
Ma'am, I don't think so.
Yes, very good. It will not have a magnetic strength. Yeah, so if I break it into unequal halves, then it will not have half. It will have, one piece will have more than half, the other piece will have less than half, so on. Okay, so if I want magnetic strength of each part to be equal, and I want it to be half of the original, then I have to break it into equal parts. Okay, the next sentence is, the new magnetic poles are formed where the cut is made on the magnet. What does this mean? Anyone? Yes, Pragya, very good. Yes, it means that the new north and south will be on the cut where the magnet was cut. You can see in this image over here on the right hand side. So if I have a magnet with north and south pole and I cut the magnet over here, then the north and south pole, remember this was the south pole, so this will say south pole as it is. This was north pole, this will say north pole as it is. And the opposite pole will be formed on the cut. Opposite pole will be formed on the cut. the nature of magnetic polarity on a given cut is opposite to the polarity of the far end of the magnet. So what this means is, far end means, let's say if this is the cut, okay, if this is the cut end, the far end means the opposite end, okay, that means this end. If this is the cut end, that means far end will be this end, okay. So far end means the opposite end of the cut, okay. So if I cut a magnet, then the pole of the magnet at the cut end will be opposite to the pole of the magnet on the far end. So if on the far end I have south pole, then on the cut end it will be north pole. If on the far end I have north pole, then on the cut end it will be south pole.
Ma'am, can you please tell me what does it mean, like the nature of magnetic polarity? Polarity means what?
Magnetic polarity means what? Nature of magnetic polarity means whether it is a south pole or a north pole. Polarity means south pole or north pole, okay?